Alright, welcome back to another video, everyone, and today what I have for everyone is my full software walkthrough for the software on the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. Alright, so today in this video I'm going to take everyone through how I have my device set up, and then we're going to walk through some important settings that you may want to change or reconfigure to get the most out of your device. Alright, and this will be a long video, but it will not be time stamped. I want to make sure everyone understands that, so take your time, follow along. You should be good to go after you watch this software walkthrough video. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's go. Now starting off here, you can see this is what my main home screen looks like on my Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. Alright, I have my Galaxy Buds widgets, my Galaxy Buds Plus widgets, I have my Google Fit widget, and I have some commonly used folders and applications. Alright, and then to the left, I have my Google Feed with my stocks, my sports teams, and my stories. Okay, and this is only because this is the globally unlocked variant of the A54 5G. If this was the international variant, this side panel would be the Samsung free side panel. Alright, so that's Samsung's free TV, movie show, and applications page, similar to the Google Feed. But because this is the globally unlocked variant, we get the ability to get the Google Feed to the left of our home screen. Other than that, I don't have any other home screens, okay? And then if I swipe up, we get into the app drawer, and my entire app drawer is folded, except for stuff that I use that I don't want in a folder, but everything else is folded, okay? And as you can see, I don't have titles on my folders because I'm pretty much used to everything that's in the folder, and I'm used to where the folder is, so I don't need titles. Alright, other than that, you can see I have a shortcut to the weather for the day, and then I have my folders, and I have the settings app up front, dead in center, in case I need to get in and change some particular settings. Now, let's go over how I have my quick toggles set up. So if I swipe down here, you can see these are some applications that I always have running. So the Google Translate application, my Clipboard Plus application, and then my AccuBattery widget. I always have those running. And then along with that, I also have running my LastPass application. Alright? Now, if we swipe down again, we can get into the quick toggles, and you can see how I have my quick toggles set up. Now in particular, the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G is running Android 13 with Samsung's One UI 5.1 Core Edition on top. And the only difference that I can see from the Core Edition of One UI 5.1 and the flagship edition of One UI 5.1 is you don't have as many software features in the camera. You do not have the ability to use Bluetooth connected audio sources, and you do not have access to Samsung DeX. Those are the three core changes between the regular flagship edition, if you have a flagship device, a flagship Galaxy device, and a mid-range or entry-level A-series, M-series Galaxy device. Those are the three differences. So again, no DeX support, alright? No Bluetooth audio support, okay? Alright, and now let's go ahead and walk through how I have these quick toggles set up. So I like to have everything important available at one tap. So you can see I got my Wi-Fi, my data, my Bluetooth, my flashlight, location, so on and so forth. And if I swipe through, I have more pages, right? Now if I want to edit these pages, okay, you hit the 3 dots up in the corner, in the right hand corner here, and now you have the ability to edit these pages. You could edit the buttons right here and put in and out any quick toggles you would like. And then once you're done, you just hit done and it sets it. Or if we hit it again, you could edit the panels, right? So you come in here, you can edit the panels, edit how it shows, and then you hit done when you have it set the way you want, and it's done. And then also you can edit your status bar here. So if we hit this again, we can go to status bar and you can edit what notifications and things show up in your status bar, right? So you take your time, you go through it, and you just turn off and on the things you want to use. And as you can see, as I said before in a lot of my other software videos, anything that I don't use, I genuinely turn off. Okay? But y'all take y'all time, you go through it, you turn off what you want, you turn on what you want, you try it. If you don't like it, you turn it off. Alright? This software walkthrough is just primarily to show you where important aspects or things you want to change are located. Okay? That's all this video is for, and then to show you how I have my device customized. So that is how you go through your quick toggles, that's how you customize your quick toggles, and that's how you get to it. Now, let's go over how you would customize your home screens or home pages. And as you can see, I have mine customized to do 5 apps across and 5 apps up and down. By default, you can see it doesn't come that way. Well, to change that, you want to press and hold on your home screen, and now we can modify different things on our home screen. We can do our wallpapers and styles, okay? So we could change our different wallpapers here. We can do things on our device, or we can do things from the Samsung Gallery Store, okay? So you see we got all these different wallpapers, and then we have live dynamic lock screens and wallpapers, and then you can go out to the Gallery Store and get you some more themes and things of that nature. Just by clicking down below, you can download some paid ones, download some free ones. That's how you would customize your wallpapers and things of that nature. Now for me, what I like to do, especially when I realize that a device has a particular display, in this case, the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G, damn that name is a mouthful, does have a Super AMOLED display, meaning that if you use darker wallpapers or darker icons, you do save more battery. So what I like to do is I like to set up my palette with my favorite colors, and if you notice, that's what it's set up as, okay? So my favorite colors are blue, white, and black with red. And y'all can see, if you didn't notice, that's why the channel logo is primarily those colors, because those are my favorite colors. So that's how I have my device set up. That's the color palette that I like to use. And you can go in here and change this, okay, to whatever color palette you would like. But mine is already set, so I'm not going to switch that around. And then what I do after that is I come out and I purposely download the Google Wallpaper Picker, okay? And then I use the Wallpaper Picker to set a nice solid black background, right? So you can see we can go into solid colors and we can make it any color we want. Now if you have an OLED display, you have an AMOLED display, you have a Super AMOLED display, if you set to a darker color wallpaper, you will maximize your battery life, okay? Because when you have those type of displays, when black is on the screen, those pixels are off, so you're not using any power. Other than that, if you have different colors on the screen, then you're forcing the device to light up the pixels on the display, using up more power. But that's how I have mine set up. I have it set to black, and then I just have it set to all. Okay, so it does the black for the home screen and it does the black for the lock screen. That's how I have it set to all. It loads it up, and that's how it is. Okay, so that's how I have my wallpapers and home screen set up. Now if we go back in, you can see you do have access to different themes. Alright, so this would take you out to the gallery store and you have access to different themes. You could do wallpapers, you could do icons, you could do always on display. There's a variety of different things you can do here, and it does offer a lot of free items as well as a lot of pay to use items. Okay, so if you want to theme out the device to your heart's content, you do have a shortcut to the gallery store, in particular the theme section, and it lets you change everything. Also, if you want to theme out the device even further, I would recommend you download an application from the gallery store called Good Lock, and that will let you pretty much customize your gallery device to your heart's content and add additional features. I'll link up that application down below in the video description, and I'll link up all the other important things that I feel is important for you to know down below in the video description as well, along with the affiliated buy links as well. Okay, all that good stuff will be located down below in the video description. Let's continue on. So other than that, this is also where we have access to our widgets. Okay, so this is how I have my widgets set up and my ability to make those certain widgets. And then in particular with Android 13, Samsung has something they call a smart stackable widget. So you can actually combine different functionalities from different applications into one particular widget. Alright, now that's not something that I do, but I do appreciate the fact that that feature is there. But this is how you would access all your different widgets, and it pretty much tells you what applications have access to what different types of widgets. Okay, so in particular, the ones y'all see on the screen are from the Galaxy wearable application. So that's how I got that. That's how y'all see that on the screen. So access to my quick shortcuts for blocking touch controls and ambient sound, and then being able to see the battery life for my case and my buds when it's connected. Important stuff in my opinion. And then also the other one you see is the Google Fit widget here. Now where is that one? Nah, is it under just Google directly? I don't remember. Now I pulled this setup from a backup, so I'm not entirely sure where it's at. No, it's gotta be under Google Fit then. So I gotta find the Fit application to get that. And I can't find it. Well, it's in here somewhere. But that's how you would add your different widgets to customize your device even further. I'm not gonna waste too much more time on that. We're gonna try and make this video quick. Now, other than that, coming out of the widgets menu, we do have access to customize our home screens by hitting the settings gear icon in this home screen subsetting, right? And if we tap on this, this is how you can customize your home screen. So this is how I got the 5x5 grid. So you can see it goes up to 5x6, but you can do 5x5, 4x6, and 4x5. Alright, I got mine set to 5x6. I like to put as much on my screen as possible. Okay, but that's how you would change your layout. Now you can change your layout even further by activating developer options, and I'm going to show you how to do that, or explain to you how to do that a little bit later on in the video. But y'all can see I got mine set to 5x6, and then you hit done and it sets it. Now mine is already set, so I'm just going to hit back. Okay, and then other than that, I have the same thing set up for my app grid in my app drawer, so it's set up the same way. And then all of my applications in my app drawer, unless I need them, are foldered. Okay, so that's how you have that. And then you can do the layout for the folder itself. All right, so how many applications come up on a single page inside of a folder. So I got 4. All right. And as you can see, you got 4x4 rows, and then it makes another page inside of the folder, right? And then you can see I can also have it to where what I have on the leftmost screen shows up, and you can see right here I got mine set to the Google Discover page. Now if I download the Samsung free application, then I will get access to the Samsung free TV shows and things of that nature, but I prefer to use the Google feed, and I do have the Google app installed, so that's how I got the Google feed to the leftmost home screen. But depending on what applications can be displayed on the leftmost home screen, you can change that to whatever you would like. So if you want these Samsung free movies and TV shows and all that stuff, you download the Samsung free application, and then you would have access to it in here on your leftmost home screen. All right. But I like the Google Discover feed, so that's how I have it set. Other than that, you can also set up your home screen to where you can see an app button, or you can use your swipes. So you swipe up and down to access your notification shade and your quick toggles, or get in and out of your app drawer. But you can use an application button if you would like. You just toggle it on. Other than that, you can lock your home screen so it doesn't move around. If you accidentally press stuff, it won't move around. And I do that because when my device is in my pocket, sometimes it accidentally may click on some things and move it around. And when you lock it, it doesn't accidentally activate. So I always lock my home screen in my setup after I have it configured. And then also, if you have different applications on your device that you can't uninstall or deactivate, then you can hide them. Okay, so you can come in here and you just check off the different applications that you want hidden. As I said, if you can't uninstall them or disable them and you know you're not going to use them, you come in here to this hide applications setting or menu, and you just check off the applications that you don't want to see. And I do that for any applications that can't be uninstalled or deactivated. So that's where you would go to get to that. All right. Then other than that, the rest of this is pretty much self-explanatory. Your app icons and notification numbers, the rotation of your home screen depending on the orientation. So you can do landscape or portrait. That's good if you're recording a lot of videos like myself. Okay. And then you have the notification swipe down gesture. Then you have a about home screen and a contact us. Those are self-explanatory. And that's how you would customize the home screen on your Samsung Galaxy device. Alright? Alright, so now let's dive a little bit deeper into the settings and talk about some more changes that you may want to do to your device. Alright, so let's do this. So jumping into the settings here, and I'll go ahead and gray out any sensitive information I don't want you guys in Galaxy to see. Okay, but all of this is self-explanatory here. So you have your connections. That's where you would go to access your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, and your mobile data. Okay, and configure your APNs. I showed you how to do that in the unboxing and data setup and verification video, so you should know how to do that. Okay, then we have other connections or connected devices. So you go in here to connected devices, and this is where you can do a few things, right? This is where you could turn off and turn on your smart view. And smart view is essentially a feature that gives you the ability to cast your screen to smart devices, right? So in particular, I have a variety of different smart TVs in my home, and I use a lot of Rokus. Rokus give you the ability to turn any TV into a SmartCast TV. And so if I tap on that, you can see I can cast my display to any TV in my home that's on, right? So that's really, really good. And if you had Samsung DeX it will let you do the same thing, but it would do it in a DeX-like desktop format, which this device does not have the ability to do. But that's how you would do that. That's what Smart View gives you the ability to do. So let's say you wanted to like watch a movie or something, and you had a particular app on your phone, and you couldn't get that app on like a laptop or a desktop, and you couldn't cast those things to the TV. You can do it straight from here on your device with the Smart View feature. Okay. Also, let's say you was working on something on your device and you just wanted to use a bigger screen. I do this a lot on my tablet, right? I connect a keyboard and mouse to my tablet, and then I would launch that screen in either Smart View or DeX mode, because my tablet does support DeX, and then that's how I get my work done. That's primarily how I edit a lot of my videos. So I cast the screen from my tablet to the TV and I get my work done. You also have a better connection if you do this hardwire style. Okay, so if you have a USB Type-C dock and you plug it in, you get a better connection. If you do this wirelessly, like I do, there is a little bit of latency, but that depends on the device's connection and your network. But anyway, that's how you would cast your screen to different devices using Smart View. Okay. Also in here under connected devices, you can share the connection of your device via phone calls or data with other devices if they're compatible. So you can see here, I can tap on share calls and texts with other devices, so I can share my calls and texts with my other Samsung devices like my tablet, so on and so forth. Okay, and I also do that a lot too. Okay, but also you have the ability to link to Windows, so you can link quickly with a Windows device and share things back and forth and cast your screen to Windows as well. Then you got multi-controls, which is self-explanatory. It gives you the ability to control multiple things with your device. And then you can turn off and on the Smart View functionality. Then we got access to our Samsung wearable application and some additional settings in here. Then we have access to our Samsung Smart Things. So this is good if you have a lot of Samsung accessories like a pair of buds or a smartwatch and you lose them or you need to find them. You can track where they are in the Samsung Smart Things application. You can also access that from here as well. It also gives you the ability to control different things from the Samsung Smart Things application, like lights, like cameras, so on and so forth. I have different applications that I use to do that, like Alexa, like Google Home. So I don't really use that on my Galaxy devices because I prefer to use Alexa and Google Home to do that. And then I also have my dedicated Casa application for my lights, which I feel these dedicated applications are a little bit easier to use than Samsung solution. That's why I use them over Samsung solution. But if you want to fully integrate everything with your Samsung device, you can do it via the device and the different applications, and they are integrated directly into the device. Okay, so you're gonna see those applications pop up as we go throughout the rest of the software. So that goes over Samsung Smart Things, and that goes over the Galaxy wearable application, and Android Auto, that's for driving. So when the device detects that you're driving, it will put like your Google Maps into a different type of view, and it will translate everything over into voice only mode, so you don't have to touch your device while you drive. So it will dictate things to you, and you can dictate things back to it while you're driving. Very useful. I use that one every day. That is a very useful feature in my opinion. But that's Android Auto. And then you have quick shortcuts to your Bluetooth settings. You have quick shortcuts to your mobile hotspot and tethering, so on and so forth. So we can get out of that. Other than that, now I'm going to skip over the things that are self-explanatory. So sound and vibration, self-explanatory, and they give you nice little sub-menus as to what's in those settings. Notifications, self-explanatory as well. Okay, so we're gonna skip over that. Display. I went over this in the unboxing and first impressions video, so we're not going to go over that again. We went over the wallpaper and styles. We went over the themes, so we're going to skip over those. We went over the home screen and layouts, so we're going to skip over those, okay? Everything that I walked y'all through earlier, you can access inside of your direct settings from the setting page here, okay? Then we have security and privacy here. Let me go in here for y'all. And pretty much this has the new Android 13 redesign. So this will just scan your entire device and let you know what security things need to be done. Okay, this is also where you can program your under display fingerprint sensor and your face unlock under biometrics. This is also where you can get access to your Samsung Pass or your Samsung Wallet. This is also where you can get access to your secure folder. You can also access that via a shortcut on your quick toggles, right? And this is also where you can program what things get shared with what people when you put your devices into particular sharing modes via Bluetooth, via nearby share, or just sharing in general via text message or what have you. That's where you can do that. And this is also where you can activate install unknown sources. If you want to install applications from unknown sources, maybe like a website or what have you, just make sure it's a website that you actually feel you can trust, because a lot of these applications from third-party sites do potentially have malware in them to where they can get your information and get access to your device. So be careful if you use install from unknown sources. Only use that if you know you're getting something from a trusted source, okay? And the rest of this is self-explanatory here, so we're gonna get out of that. Accounts, emergency information, all self-explanatory, so we're gonna skip over that. Accounts and backups, right? Now, this is important, right? Let's say if you do what I do and you transfer, let me see what it shows. I'll gray out anything sensitive, but okay, it doesn't show too much. But let's say you transfer devices often, or you have a particular backup because your device got messed up and you need to restore it, or you want to back up your device. You can do it from here, the accounts and backup section. So I can transfer specific accounts, I can restore from specific devices. If not, if I have a backup on my external SD card, I can restore from there as well. This is a godsend. In my opinion, the way Samsung has this set up is a little bit easier than the way Google has theirs set up. And in terms of backups and restores, I would honestly prefer to use a Samsung device for that because they make it extremely easy. So in regards to backing up your device or restoring things from different devices onto a device, this is where you would do this in the accounts and backup section. Alright? Just wanted to make sure I showed y'all this. This is very important here. Okay? Let's get out of that. And then another important area where all the goodies are located is in advanced features. Okay? So inside of advanced features, we got access to pretty much everything, right? We got access to our gestures, we got access to our side key functionality, our one hand mode, so on and so forth, our features for video calls, dual messages, everything, removing your animations to make your device move faster, so on and so forth. Let me quickly run through everything. So tapping on labs, this is where you get access to beta features. All right, you can also get access to some of these features from developer options, and I'm going to show y'all how to activate or tell you how to activate developer options a little bit later on. But you can see you can convert any application to be used in dual window mode. they got a split screen gesture, they got a swipe down pop view gesture, and they pretty much show you how to do all of it, okay? And you could turn it off and on from here, okay? So let's say you wanted to split the screen. It walks you through how to do that once you turn it on, okay? And then pop-up view or swipe pop-up view, same thing. You turn it on, any compatible application, you could just swipe down from the corner to activate it, okay? And then swipe split screen gestures, again, self-explanatory. You swipe up to get your split screen going, all right? You can also access your split screen from the recent apps menu. So let me show y'all that. So if you're in the recent apps, you just press and hold on the icon at the top, and then it will either take you to the app or it will have it to where you can launch the app in, let me see if this one will do it. No, that one won't do it. Oh, yes it did. So you can launch the app in a dual screen mode, okay? So that's how you would do that, and if you want to get out of it, you just press back to get out of it, okay? So that's what's under labs. And then side key, I also went over how you do your side key in the data verification video, but that's where you would go to access your double tap to quickly launch the camera or open specific applications, and you can pretty much have access to any application on your device via opening via the side key or the power button. Now I typically just leave mine at launching the camera. And then they also have a long press function, all right? By default, man, I can't talk, sorry. The long press function is set up to launch Bixby, but you can come in here and change it to launch the power menu, okay? So you can power off your device, you can restart your device, or what have you. If you don't change this option, I said this in the other video, if you don't change this option, you will have to use the digital power button to restart or power off your device. I don't like that. I like to use the power button for what it's actually supposed to be used for. So I always change that, and I always recommend y'all change that, okay? So that was the side key. And then also in here, we got our motions and gestures. So we got access to all of the gestures with the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. We have raise to wake, we got double tap to wake and sleep, okay? We got keep the screen on while viewing, we got pick up to vibrate for alerts, we got flip over to mute, we got palm swipe to take a screenshot, and you can also take a screenshot by pressing and holding the power button and the volume down key at the same time for a second, and then you can customize your screenshots directly after you take it, okay? So that goes over that. And then we got the video calling effects, that's self-explanatory. We have the game launcher, that's also self-explanatory. I turned that off. And then we also have another important feature here called Dual Messenger, right? Now, Dual Messenger gives you the ability to launch into multiple apps under different accounts, all right? And I use this a lot across my other Samsung devices. In particular, I've said this often, I use WhatsApp for a lot of different things. I also use Telegram and Facebook Messenger for a lot of different things. And I typically access multiple accounts from one device, typically a Samsung device, and it's via this dual messenger feature. And pretty much once you toggle it on, it will give you 2 instances of the app that you can sign into with 2 different accounts. You can also connect it to two different phone numbers if you would like. All right, this is a very important feature, and honestly, I feel as though all devices need to have this dual application or dual messenger feature, okay? Especially if you use a device for more than just personal reasons. Maybe you use your device for personal and business reasons. You do want that separation of church and state. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that's the dual messenger feature, and I use this one a lot. Okay, that's where you would go to access that. Alright, and then other than that, as I said, we got shortcuts to different things. Okay, but that's that, and that's primarily where all of the main goodies are, and the rest of this is self-explanatory. So digital well-being, self-explanatory. Battery and device care, okay, also self-explanatory. This is also where you can access your software updates from battery and device care as well. You can also program your device to automatically restart to keep it fresh. Okay, you do that from here under automation. Okay, and then you have different other maintenance things you can do. Alright, and then if you want to do something like check your storage, you can do it from here just by tapping on the storage. Okay, let me get out of that because I don't want y'all to see sensitive stuff that's in there. Same thing for memory. You want to check your memory, and also if you want to access the RAM Plus feature, by default it comes set to 4 gigs, but you can put it all the way up to 6 gigs. I just leave it on the default. Now, one thing that I want to make sure everyone understands, RAM Plus is like virtual memory. Virtual memory, if we look at it in terms of computer sense, virtual memory takes physical storage on your hard drive, cordons off that storage, and uses it for the system as virtual memory. Okay, and that's the same thing that your device does, your Android device does, and that's essentially what RAM Plus is doing. So it's taking some of your physical storage and converting that physical storage to virtual memory to boost the speed on your device, or to boost the overall capacity of how many applications your device can keep open. Alright, so by default, the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G can be had with either 6 gigs of physical memory or 8 gigs of physical memory, okay? But all the options come with 128 gigs of storage. Now, you can up that or supplement that with up to 6 gigs of virtual memory. Alright, so it can go anywhere from 6 all the way up to 12. 6 and 6 is 12, so on and so forth. Or 8, and you do the math. So 8 and 2 is 10, 8 and 4 is 12, 8 and 16, so on and so forth. But that is what the RAM Plus is doing. Okay, so if you take up a lot of storage on your device, you may want to bump down the RAM Plus, because as your device loses storage, it will begin to slow down. Okay, just want to make sure that everyone understands how that works. You can also clear off your memory from here as well, and you can clear off your memory from your recent apps via the close all button. Alright, now it's not recommended that you do that, because that will force kill the application. It's recommended that you just let the device turn off or close the applications when it needs to, even though I don't do that. I be pushing the kill all button sometimes, or the close all button sometimes. Sometimes you just want to clear it out. Okay, but that's where you would go to access your RAM Plus feature inside the memory options. Okay. And then also, this is an important one that I want to make sure everyone knows how to find. So if you want to boost your battery, you would come into the battery settings here, and you can do a few things. You could turn on your battery saver. You can change what things are running in the background. You can deep sleep applications that you don't use. You could set up applications to never sleep. Alright, similar to what I showed you guys and gals how to do with the Google Pixel. This is how you would do it if you have a Galaxy device. Okay, and you can see all of my important applications I have set up to never sleep, and any applications that I don't use regularly I have set to sleep or deep sleep. Okay, but this is where you would go to access this inside of battery, inside of background usage limits. Okay, then also inside of here, this is where you can go to see your overall usage, and if you tap on it, okay, you can see your screen on time and your overall usage and breakdowns for all the apps. I love this. Okay, I feel as though Google kind of messed up when they got rid of this format, and even Apple has a similar format to this that shows you the overall usage and the screen on time and the breakdown for the individual apps. I love this. Google, bring it back, okay? Bring it back. So you can do your individual breakdown for the day from last charge, or you can do your overall breakdown for the week. And again, it still shows you that individual app usage along with the screen on and screen off time. I love this. Google, bring it back. Okay? Bring it back. The way y'all have it in stock Android is wrong. Bring it back, Google. Bring it back. Okay? So that's where you would go to access that on your Samsung Galaxy device. Now, you can see it's still learning my patterns. Google has something similar to that, to where once it learns your patterns, it will optimize for your usage. It's still learning my patterns. I've only had it for a couple of days as of the recording of this video. It can take up to a week and a half to learn your patterns and optimize, and you can see it's still learning mine. Just let it learn you. Use your device how you normally would and let the device learn, okay? This way it will optimize its overall performance. But that's where you would go if you want to change particular battery settings, okay? I just wanted to show y'all that. And then also, if you want to come and change more battery settings, you'll come in here to the more battery settings area. Now, this is where you would go to get to your adaptive battery, okay? Notice in your stock Android, it was a little bit easier to get to this, but on your Galaxy device, it is buried in the battery settings under a lot of submenus. But if that's something you don't want to take advantage of, this is where you would come to turn it off. And essentially, it does the same thing as the adaptive memory, which is what the device is doing when it says it's learning your behavior. It's using adaptive memory. The adaptive battery is doing the same thing. So these two things learn your behavior and turn off and on applications depending on when you use them and when you need them to save battery and optimize the device for overall performance. And as I said, if you want to turn it off, you come in here to turn it off. Okay? Other than that, this is also where you can go to turn off and on your battery percentage. Okay? This is also where you go to turn off and on the charging stats on the lock screen. If you have that turned on, you will always see the charging stats on your lock screen when the device is plugged in, whether or not you use always on display or not. And then this is where you can go to turn off and on your fast charging. Now, if you turn off fast charging, the device will charge, but it will be at a lot slower rate. Okay? You do this to conserve the overall battery health. Or you can just let the device learn your patterns and it will try to conserve the battery health for you. Okay? And then also, if you want to optimize your battery or extend the life of your device even further, you can limit the full capacity that the device can charge to. Alright, so you can see here, protect your battery by limiting the charge percentage to 85% and setting 85% charge as the maximum charge level. And that, guys and gals, is what I use on all of my older Galaxy devices, especially the Galaxy devices that I use for recording. To extend the battery, I always turn on battery protect. So when I'm charging those devices, whether it be wired or wirelessly, they're not actually charging up to the full capacity, they're charging up to 85%. It also makes it so your device will charge faster because you're, again, not charging it to the full capacity. So it will also increase your overall charging speed, okay? Just something to consider if you want your device to charge as fast as possible. Limit the battery to 85% and then turn on fast charging and your device should charge super fast, okay? And that's even with the fact that it will slow down once it hits certain percentages. So your device actually charges its fastest from 0 to 50%. After 50%, it slows down. And then after 80%, it slows down. But if you turn on battery protect and fast charging, you can actually get a fast top-up charge because you're not charging your device to its full percentage, okay? Just wanted to point that out and show y'all where that's located. Okay, and we're about done with this video, y'all. Promise. Okay, so that goes over that. That's also very important. Then we have the apps. This is also a very important area because inside of the apps, you will also get access to your default applications. So you can choose which applications get used by default. So if you have particular messaging applications you want to use, you have a particular launcher that you want to use, you have a particular browser, spam blocker, so on and so forth, set it as your default here. And then you got your default Samsung applications. Okay, so you can set different default Samsung applications to do different things, and then you can individually determine if you don't want an app to be force closed. So like I showed y'all in the software walkthrough for the Pixel device, you can turn off individually whether the application gets force closed when it's not used. So that feature is still here, okay? And you can still access it similarly to how you can access it if you're coming from a Pixel device. So this is the importance of the application area here, and I want to make sure I show y'all that. Okay, and then that basically does it. The rest of this stuff is self-explanatory. Now I want to explain to y'all. I don't really want to show y'all because it's gonna show too much sensitive information, but I want to explain to y'all how to unlock your developer options. So to unlock your developer options, you would go into About Device, okay, or About Phone in this instance, okay. Then you would go to Software Information, okay. Then you would find your build number and you would tap on it 10 times. After you tap on it 10 times, it will ask you to re-authenticate. So put in your pattern, your PIN, or your fingerprint, and then it will say you are now a developer, and that will unlock developer options. And inside of developer options, we have access to do a few things. So we can always leave the display on while it's charging. That's really good if you do what I do and you have different charge stats that you want to get. Sometimes when the device's display is turned off, it will start sleeping applications. So sometimes if I notice that it's sleeping an application even after I told it not to, I turn on developer options and I put it on always keep display on while charging. This way I can get my charging stats from my videos. Okay, but also if you want to turn off automatic system updates, maybe you like the way your device is running and maybe you just want to update the application, maybe you don't want to update the particular system, you could turn off system updates from developer options. Okay, and then you could turn on and turn off different features to improve performance. Let me show y'all the ones that I turn on. Okay, so we come down in here, and I always change the log buffer size. This way you give the device more memory to use to log different things. Okay, so it has more space to function. I always change my log buffer size to the maximum amount. So you can see I got mine set to 8 million. Okay, then along with that, I typically come in here and I turn on Wi-Fi safe mode. This, as the name implies, it prioritizes Wi-Fi stability over Wi-Fi speed. I would much rather have a stable connection over just a connection that provides the fastest speeds. Okay? Then also, I turn on Wi-Fi throttling, so it limits the speeds to conserve battery life. Now, when I'm doing particular testing, I turn that off. But when I'm using the device regularly, I leave that turned on. Okay? And then also, I have it set up to always have my mobile data running. This way, the handoff from Wi-Fi to mobile data is faster and more reliable. So I always recommend you do that. Now, if you don't have an unlimited data plan, you do want to be careful with this. But if you do have unlimited data, go ahead and turn it on. You should be good to go. And if there's any like Wi-Fi dropouts, you will not notice any breaks in performance because it will automatically hand it off to mobile data. And then I use the hardware aspects of the device to boost the overall speed of the device. So that's what hardware tethering does. Okay? It accelerates the speed of your device using the hardware. Okay? So I always turn that on. Now, there are other options in here that you can configure. Another one that I like to configure is the USB configuration. So this tells your device what to do when you plug in a USB cable. Whether you want it to just charge, whether you want it to transfer files, so on and so forth. And I always set mine to transferring files. Okay? And so when it detects like I plug it into another device or maybe a computer, it automatically authenticates and launches so I can transfer files. When it just detects that it's plugged into something that's just charging, then it just charges. Okay? So I always recommend you do that just to make it easier so you don't have to do it later when you may be transferring files. Okay? That's where you would go to see that. Then another important one is your Bluetooth. But this is what you have to configure when you have different Bluetooth devices connected, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. But I change that one often, but I don't have a Bluetooth device connected right now. And then along with that, we have the animations. Now you can reduce the animations from that subsetting you guys saw earlier, but you can do it physically from here as well. And then this is another important one right here. If you want to get the maximum screen size out of your device, okay, this is what I do. Okay, I look up the PPI, the screen density, and then I set the minimum width to the maximum screen density. Okay, that gives me the overall maximum screen size. This way allowing me to get the most on my screen at one time. Okay, then after I do that, I go into display and I tweak it even further with the display zoom so I can get it exactly to the size that I want. Okay, so if you want the maximum display size out of your device, you want to come in here and you want to go to minimum width and you set that to the maximum PPI for your device. So for me, that would be a PPI of 429. Okay, that's an important setting I wanted to make sure I point out for y'all. And then this is another one, Force 4X MSAA. Okay, that's another one. I always turn that on. I'll probably turn that on after this video. And then other than that, okay, another important one, right, is this one down here, okay? If you have an SD card, right, the first thing you want to do, okay, after you put your SD card in your device, you want to unlock developer options and check off this option right here. Force allow applications to external storage. This will allow you to store your applications directly on the SD card, saving the system storage for system-specific applications or performance tasks. Now, I always recommend that if you have a device with an SD card, that you do this, okay? Also, I recommend that when you have a device with an SD card, you do the same thing for your photos and videos. So when you put the SD card in, directly after you do what I just said, you launch the camera and you go into the camera settings and you set it to store your photos and videos to the SD card. So my SD cards always serve multi-purposes. They always store my applications if possible, and they always store my photos and videos. This way my devices are always running as smooth as possible because system storage is then prioritized for system function. Okay, that's how I make sure I maximize the performance of my device. So you want to do this first thing when you set up your device, okay, before, okay, you even launch or sign in to your applications and download applications. You want to do this. If you have a device that has an SD card, put the SD card in, do this, unlock developer options, check this option, and then sign in to your accounts, okay? Just a little pro tip, okay? And then also, I showed y'all how to do this earlier, but you can also force any applications to be used in multi-screen from your developer options. Okay, so not only can you do that from the Samsung labs, you can also do that from developer options, and I always check that off. Okay, so those are the important aspects that you want to mess with from developer options or in developer options. Okay, other than that, I don't really mess with anything in here, so we can come out of that. And this, guys and gals, essentially goes over all the important software aspects of your Samsung Galaxy device. In particular, this is pertaining to the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. Okay? I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, you know what to do. I hope everyone is having a great day out there. I hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there. And remember, if this video piqued your interest, all the relevant links will be available down below in the video description. And the affiliate links are just that. When you use an affiliate link, I do get a small percentage of kickback that I do put back into the channel, but that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So it's a win-win for everyone in my opinion. Okay? Okay. I hope everyone is having a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. We are out of here. Peace.